how libertarians are always, people are always on that libertarian type of side are always sniping each other. Yes, you have those like libertarian socialists or ANCOMs and things like this. But I saw this post. In that post with the libertarian group, somebody had commented this, had said, false equivalence. Why a libertarian would be against abortion is beyond me. Antithetical to the premise of individual freedom. Seems kind of brain dead. No government, federal or state, has the right to advise what the individual can do with their own body. You are your own property, and property rights should be the number 1 priority. This is why I'm saying it's not a right-left issue. My main thing is, if you're talking about this and you want an effective conversation, try to understand what the person defines life as. Do they think it's one life being discussed, or is it 1 + 1? When 2 people come together, does that equal 2 lives? When 2 sex cells come together, when does that equal 2 lives being involved? Where it's like, so once you define that, once you understand that, you can understand. Because my response to this was, this person says seems kind of brain dead, that libertarians would be interested in something that many of them think is a procedure that ends brain activity of a different life. Like, of course, like it seems like these people can't really seem to actually understand this, and the person couldn't actually get that. What's your take on that? That whole idea of the schism within the libertarian sort of field that we're kind of involved in?
Well, because like I was gonna say, I mean, I get like you sort of got at this in the beginning, but there is that like really fanatical pro-life side. Like I don't know if you ever saw the Monty Python skit, but about every sperm is sacred, like that whole thing of like, you're not supposed to masturbate because if you do, you're killing your sperm, and that's considered bad. If an egg just fertilizes destroyed, that's bad. Like I realize that line of reasoning is absurd, but I mean, I'd have to bring up the numbers. But my friend and I were talking a while back about like, after this many weeks there is a spine, after this many weeks there's a nervous system, after this many weeks, it's like, I mean, that's not the woman's nervous system, that's not the woman's heart, that's not the woman's DNA coding. It's like that's why you're talking about another life. Now, then like, somebody we know made the argument of like, well, we don't have laws for sentient beings, we have laws for persons. But then again, like you said, like euthanasia, vegetables, things like that. I mean,
that person comes up again here.
Yeah, like I mean, like even like the debate even regarding circumcision, like is it fair to do that to a baby because they have no idea, they can't consent to it? Whereas if a grown man does it, okay, he can say, all right, I've weighed the benefits either way, I know what the consequences will be, I'll do it on my own. Versus, okay, you're just doing it to somebody when they're a baby and they don't know better. And like you made the analogy, it's like, oh, I did this to you when you were drunk, you didn't know, what's the big deal? It's like, okay, but still, do you have the right to do that? That's the point.
Yeah. And this person was being called out, the person who commented that, and they said, oh, this, again, a typical deflection. I think it's aggressive to force a woman to full term after she's been raped or the birth is going to put her life in jeopardy. And I think the old adage, what they don't know won't hurt them, would come into play. This person himself is brain dead. Because this person right here talks about a situation where it is considered rape if a woman willingly gets drunk, is blackout drunk, you have intercourse with her, and she doesn't remember it. It is still a violation of her body. It is not valid. So she says, if the woman can't remember getting pregnant, they shouldn't be forced to get pregnant, and they shouldn't be forced to carry to term, and it's not an issue because the life she ends won't remember ever. What? And to me, this is why I'm saying like this thing is going to even out, because I haven't heard people who like there's a few people who are like me who are just like, yeah, I'm pro-choice, but it's ending a life. Like, but very few people are actually on that side. So I think once people realize ending the life, and for me that ending the life, once I realize it's ending a life, that's where I say yes, I want certain protections for that life at that point. That's why I'm thinking most people will just come towards that where Europe is. Well, it's 11 to 20 weeks. That's how most of the people are actually going to be on it. This Thank you for listening. This has been a clip from an actual longer recording that I'll try to leave a link to on the screen or somewhere around here where you're listening to this.
Pendants. 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 Pendants.
Peasants.
Okay. Okay.